What if I told you that you could be asking for something every single day while simultaneously telling yourself, your mind, that you don't deserve it? But one part of you says, I want it. Another part quietly says, but what if I don't have it? Now, the conflict could be more important than you realize. Because sometimes the biggest obstacle between you and what you want is not outside of you. It's a story you're telling yourself about whether you are actually capable of having it. Welcome back to the Manifestation Masterclass series. If you have been following our series, you already know that in episode 1, we talked about manifestation. In episode 2, we explored the 7 universal laws. In episode 3, we talked about how your thoughts influence your emotions. And then in episode 4, we went one step deeper and talked about your energy and how it can influence the way you experience life. So today we are putting all of that together because you can have the perfect affirmation. You can visualize every night, you can meditate, you can create a vision board, you can say that I am abundant 100 times a day. But if somewhere deep inside you believe this is not possible for me, or I don't deserve this, and what if I fail? People like me, uh, but they don't like me getting these things. Or what if I lose it? So then there may be an internal conflict which is happening that you haven't noticed. And that's what we are going to explore today. So let me give you an example. Now, imagine someone who desperately needs a better job and is literally looking for a job. They have been unhappy in their current situation for a long time. Every night, they visualize themselves working somewhere better. They imagine receiving a good salary, or they imagine waking up excited to go to work. They tell themselves, my new opportunity is coming. My opportunity is ready, and I am ready for something better. I deserve success. And they genuinely believe they want it. And then one morning, they see a job opening, and it's almost perfect. And the salary is better. The company looks great. The role is exactly what they have been looking for. And that's the opportunity they have been asking for from such a long time. But instead of feeling excited, their mind immediately starts talking. I am probably not qualified enough. There will be so many better candidates. What if they reject me? Maybe I should wait for another opportunity and they don't apply. Now, a few days later, the position is gone and they say, uh, see, nothing ever works for me. But let's pause here. Did they really believe they were ready for this opportunity? Consciously, they said yes, but their actions were being influenced by fear. And this is where manifestation becomes much deeper than simply saying positive words. Now, uh, it's more like what you say versus what you believe. There's a difference between what you say you want and what you actually believe is possible for you. You might say, I want financial abundance. But if every time money comes in, you immediately think, I don't have enough. I will never be financially secure. What if something gets wrong? And And then your relationship with money may still be driven by fear. You might say that I want a healthy relationship, but deep inside you may believe everyone eventually leaves. I can't trust people. Uh, I'm going to get hurt again. You might say, I want success, but then think, what will people say about me? What if I fail publicly? You may think, uh, what if people judge me? Or you, so you need to ask yourself something very honestly. What do I say I want? And what do I actually believe about having it? Now, that question can reveal a lot. Now, there are certain blocks which creates all this fear. The block one is the limiting beliefs. One of the biggest blocks can be uh, a limiting belief. It is simply a belief that restricts the way you see yourself or what's possible for you. And many of these beliefs were not even created by you. You may have heard them growing up. Money is hard to earn, success requires struggle, don't expect too much. You should be grateful for whatever you get. People like us don't become wealthy. Or, you are not smart enough. You are not confident enough. So maybe nobody says those things to you anymore, but you have heard them repeatedly. They can become a part of your internal dialogue. And when something becomes familiar, we can mistake familiarity for truth. So one of the first steps in manifestation is becoming aware of these old stories, not judging them, not fighting them, not noticing them. And then we move on to our block two, which is fear of failure. And this block is sometimes, it doesn't look like fear, sometimes it looks like procrastination. Sometimes it looks like making excuses. Sometimes it looks like constantly researching but never taking an action. And sometimes it sounds like I'll start it tomorrow, or I'm not ready for it. I'll do it when the timing is right. I need to learn a little more first. Of course, preparation is important, but sometimes we are not preparing. We are hiding. And because taking action means we might fall or we might fail, but there's something important to remember. You don't need to know what you will succeed before you take the first step. You only need to be willing to take the first step. So here we come to our block 3, which is a fear of success. Now here's something people don't talk about enough. Sometimes we are not afraid of failure, we are afraid of success. Think about it. If you actually got everything you say you want, would your life change? Would you have more responsibility? Or would people expect more from you? Would your relationships change? Would you have to leave your comfort zone? Would you have to become a different version of yourself? Sometimes the life we say we want requires us to let go of the identity we have become comfortable with. And that can feel scary. So ask yourself, if I actually got what I'm asking for, what would change in my life? Your answer may surprise you. So here we come to our block number 4, which is constantly looking for proof. This is another common block that is constantly checking for results. You visualize something, you affirm it, then you check. Has it happened yet? Has the results come? When will it happen? Nothing. The next day again, is it coming? Still nothing. Then you start thinking, and maybe this doesn't work. That is how your mind thinks. And suddenly your focus is no longer on the possibility. Your focus is on the absence. Now that doesn't mean you should blindly believe that anything you want will automatically happen. It means you shouldn't let temporary circumstances decide what you believe is possible for your future. Sometimes progress is not immediately visible, and sometimes the next step is simply to continue doing what is within your control. So here comes our next block, which is wanting to control how it happens. Now, this is another block, really a bigger one. You may have a very specific picture of how your manifestation has to happen. You say, I want this exact job. I want this exact person. This exact amount of money is what I need. This is the exact opportunity I'm looking for. And because you are so focused on a specific outcome, you may overlook the other possibilities. Now, being clear about what you want is powerful, but being open to how it arrives give you room to recognize opportunities you didn't expect. Sometimes the door you were waiting or is not the door that opens. And that doesn't automatically mean the journey has failed. It may simply mean you need to look around. Remember, manifestation isn't about blaming yourself whenever something doesn't happen. Please don't turn this into my manifestation didn't happen, so I must have blocked it. Life is much more complicated than that. There are circumstances we cannot control. Other people's choice, their timings, their economic conditions, or there are some unexpected events. And sometimes things simply don't work out. The purpose of this work is not to convince yourself that you control everything. The purpose is to understand what you can control. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your choices, your emotional responses, and sometimes even your actions, and the meaning you give to your experiences. This is where your power is. So the next time you catch yourself saying, you know, that why isn't my manifestation happening? Just take a pause and ask yourself, what am I believing about this? What am I afraid of? What story am I repeating? And am I taking action towards it? Am I allowing myself to receive something different from what I imagined? These questions can tell you much more than another affirmation ever will. Because sometimes you don't need another manifestation techniques. Sometimes you need to understand yourself a little better. Your manifestation isn't uh, just a journey. The journey is about not just becoming perfect, it's about becoming aware. Aware of your thoughts, aware of your beliefs, aware of your emotions, and aware of the stories you have been carrying from a pretty long time, and then consciously deciding which ones you want to keep and which ones you're finally ready to release. You don't have to become a completely different person overnight. Stay, you can just stay with one thing. You can start off. You can start with one belief, start with one thought, with one decision, one action, and let those small changes build over time. Because the version of you who receives a life you are asking for is not created in one magical moment. You are becoming that person through the choices you make every single day. And if you're feeling stuck and you would like personal guidance, I offer one on one online manifestation sessions where we can work together on your limiting beliefs, mindset, energy, and manifestation practices. If you would like to work with me personally, you will find the details in this description below. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And stay with me for episode 6 because we are going to talk about something that almost everyone struggles with: how to detach the outcome without giving up on what you want. I'll see you in the next episode.